He never turns down reasonable requests for interviews or autographs. He was among this summer's century makers on the cricket field, and he's soon to take part in a debate for the Oxford Union. No wonder 29-year-old Gary Winston Lineker has been given the England captaincy on the strength of his well-rounded character, as much as on account of the example he sets in front of goal. The team that Lineker leads shows 4 changes from that which played in the World Cup semi-final. 2 are enforced by international retirement of Shilton and Butcher, which gives 30-year-old Chris Woods his chance in goal at last, and number 2, Lee Dixon from Arsenal, the right flank position, with Paul Parker moving inside. The 2 other changes are what you might call tailor-made, the inclusion of Steve Bull and the return of John Barnes at the expense of Peter Beardsley and Chris Waddle. The Hungarians are without 2 of their best attackers, Dejtari and Kiprik, but 2 other exiles worth watching are number 7, Istvan Kosmar from Dunfermline Athletic in Scotland, and number 11, Kalman Kovac from Auxerre in France, who celebrated his 25th birthday yesterday with a nostalgic look around this famous stadium where Hungarian football enjoyed its finest hour, courtesy of his predecessors Puskás and company in 1953. Billy Wright was the England captain that day on the receiving end of a 6-3 humiliation. The manager was Walter Winterbottom, now Sir Walter, who's also here tonight, and playing right back for England was a man who later won the World Cup as a manager, Sir Alf Ramsey, second from the back row on the end. And the referee, Erik Fredriksson of Sweden, the man who was in charge of the Argentina-Soviet Union match in the World Cup when he failed to see Diego Maradona handle the ball. Hungary in those cherry red shirts and white shorts get the first match of Graham Taylor's reign started. And everybody, every Englishman, very keen to see what happens from here on in. This is Lee Dixon. Three-man central defence of Walker, Parker and Wright, but this is the unmistakable figure of Gascoigne. Looking for Barnes. Header down to Pearce, who's got to push forward on that side if this plan's going to work. Barnes again. Oh, what a run! And a chance here for Platt to get the ball in. Lineker couldn't get there, and here's Dixon. Wow, nearly a whirlwind start for England and for Lee Dixon. And some fast, direct approach play down the left-hand side by Barnes and Platt mainly. Pearce is well forward again. And Lineker waits in the centre again. Well, the new captain's been within a whisker of a couple of crosses already. This is Kovac for Hungary, and my word, look at the break here. Number 7 is Kosmar. That's going to be a free kick against Des Walker, but I haven't seen an international start in quite such open fashion. Dixon to clear after Parker's initial header. And Bull getting involved in fighting Lineker. Bull the only one in the middle at the minute. Gascoigne joins the attack. And he's brought down on the edge of the area by Garaba, the Hungarian captain in number 6. Wow. This is some start. And the crowd already fully involved. Gascoigne and Barnes prepare to organise the free kick. Wright's in the crop of players in the centre. Barnes goes there as well now. There's 5 in there for England. Gascoigne. Well, Trevor Brooking just getting his breath back in the commentary box.
Well, it was a good start. I mean, the crowd have come here, looking really to get behind the side, I think, after the World Cup of the summer. There's Paul Gascoigne, who in particular got a terrific reception, not surprisingly. And he and John Barnes in particular, with a great little run down the left-hand side early on, have lifted the crowd, and it's good. Even though it is a friendly, I think all the players before, I think, were making it very apparent that they wanted to give the supporters and Graham Taylor an excellent start to the season.
This is David Platt, and there goes Lineker. And the goalkeeper, Zoltan Petri, with only his third cap tonight, was off his line pretty quickly. David Platt set it up. Number 7, Cosmar. Play on again. That was a good flow to the game in this opening 7 minutes. This is Dixon again. Forward early, Platt. Number 3, Distil for Hungary with the cycling shorts. Coming out from the back. Monosh, the right back. Not right. Gascoigne. And 2 centre-backs came out there. And Lineker won't get back with the defender. Very nearly steered. It was Garaba. Nearly did Lineker's job for him. But it was interesting there that England were pushing players out from the back. Here's Keller. Gascoigne. Nice ball into Barnes. Lineker's on the right wing. That's where he was aiming for. 8 is Butch. 7 is Cosmar. Challenge was by Walker. Plenty of the ball for Gascoigne. He'll relish that. And Lineker will relish passes of that nature too. Ball's in the middle. Oh, good effort by Lineker. And the referee saw, while Lineker had that shot, that there was an offence by Garaba on Bull. And it's going to be a free kick to England about 22 yards out. Pearce. Oh, it was a giveaway by Walker, but Parker covers. And the long ball is from Woods. The header by Distal. And Gascoigne. Pearce. Monosh.
Free kick given there, but I think for the England team has settled down very well to really the first occasion where they played a sweeper system at home, and it's a little bit different playing it in a World Cup away from home, whereas here at Wembley the onus is on the team to push forward that little bit more. But the fullbacks in particular, Stuart Pearce and Lee Dixon, are getting forward at every opportunity, so there's never a shortage of players in forward and attacking positions.
The football in this opening 10 minutes, fast and fresh. And England full of ideas. Dixon. Lee Dixon, who plays this forward-thinking role for Arsenal, tucking into the midfield on the right flank, so he's ready-made for that position, really, in this system that Graham Taylor wants to play. And indeed, the system that Bobby Robson finished up playing, really. Here's Wright. Barnes. Parker. Good cross, corner. First corner for England, and I think it's worth keeping an eye on John Barnes, who Graham Taylor believes is the key figure on corner kicks to flick the ball on from the near post if they can find him. Mark Wright standing just behind Barnes. Well, there was a push there by Steve Bull.
Yeah, they just cleared the near post with that particular corner kick, and Stevie Bull just nudging his defender to get the free header.
Barnes. Steve Bull's the man on the far side. Did quite well to get the header in. He had to jostle a bit.
Great skill here by John Barnes on his right foot here as well. Curls it to the far post. A little nudge there from Steve Bull. The referee didn't spot, but it went safely into the goalkeeper's hands.
Brought back a few memories of the Watford style of play, where Graham Taylor used to like a big centre forward to get on the end of John Barnes' crosses. But here's a Hungarian who might get one in, Monos. Lineker and Bull both running well, and it's a good piece of improvisation by the goalkeeper, Petri. Very effective too. Here's Keller. Bush. 20 minutes gone, England 0, Hungary 0, but lively and entertaining, with England having had most of the play, and Gary Lineker here was hoping to cash in, but that's one way of clearing your lines. Well, Lineker is full of running, and the Hungarians are starting to, that was Garaba again, the captain, display a cynical side to their nature. They had 3 or 4 bookings last week against Turkey for that sort of foul, and Mr. Fredriksson is being lenient so far, I would say, in resisting the use of the yellow card. If Lineker was a West German, I'm tempted to say he might have made rather more of it. Free kick to England. Gascoigne. Oh, and a flick by David Platt, I think, just in front of Mark Wright. Wright might have actually got the final touch, but Gascoigne really is curling these in dangerously. It was Mark Wright's header, in fact. I think what Graham Taylor will be feeling, like many England managers before him, is that on the end of all this, really ought to be a goal. Many's the time England teams have taken charge at Wembley from the kickoff, but haven't always managed to produce what matters, the end product. Right. Dixon. Parker. Bull's waiting there. Oh, that's fallen nicely for David Platt, but he just couldn't get his shot in. Here's Pearce. That's a goal kick. It was on the roof of the net from Stuart Pearce. David Platt seemed to have a chance there, but possibly just hesitating to try and make it an even better opportunity, Trevor.
Well, I think Paul Parker's cross, as you see it come in here, was whipped in, and Stevie Ball went to control it, went under his foot, and David Platt probably a little bit surprised, and it just got stuck under his foot and allowed the two Hungarian defenders to close him down. Probably, if it could have turned and tried to hit it with his left foot, it would have been better.
In the end, it was Pearce who bent that one over the bar. Pearce. Ball's made a run, here he is. He's got support from Barnes. There were four in front of him there, found Dixon. Touched by Lineker to Gascoigne. Barnes again. Just a shade too intricate by England on the edge of the area as the red shirts closed up. It's a foul there. Parker was fouled. With 3 minutes left in the first half. England still threatening to score, but not managing to do so. Forward by Mark Wright. Pearce comes in. And Platt goes there too, possibly with his foot up. Well, what do you make of this first half, Trevor?
Well, although it's goalless, I think there are some very good points from England's point of view. Probably three players more than most have caught the eye on their sharpness. I mean, not surprising, the Spurs duo, Gary Lineker, I thought, and Paul Gascoigne have both looked sharp. And in particular, John Barnes in his new roving role and with his old manager seems to have responded very well. And it just needs, as you say, that little icing on the cake to get the goal ahead, which I'm sure going into the dressing room, they feel they've done enough in this first half to be ahead. But they've defended very well, to their credit, Hungary.
There's a couple of minutes left in the half for them to find that goal, but for the moment it's a free kick to the Hungarians. Aimed towards Gregor. Header out was by Wright. This is Betsy. Oh, brilliant by Barnes. And good by Gascoigne too for Lineker, but again the goalkeeper plays the role of sweeper. Delightful play by John Barnes. Here's Barnes again, Gascoigne. And once more Barnes. In support here, Dixon. Platt and Buller in there together. David Platt. It might come for Lineker. Well, the Hungarians were rocking there. There was no flag. They were looking for one. Gary Lineker in the thick of it. Keller warding off Barnes. Gascoigne. And now Platt. It's gone a bit wide. Gascoigne tries. Lineker does. And the first goal for England under Graham Taylor is scored by the new captain in the last minute of the first half. David Platt made the running, he went wide, the goalkeeper could only parry the shot. Gascoigne and Garber together, and Lineker turned it in. Here's Platt, who went for a shot here with power. Now, as the ball comes to Gary Lineker, he's just onside, and England are in front. And just for the record, that's goal number 36 in an England shirt for Gary Lineker. Kovac for Hungary, though. And it will also come as a relief, as well as a satisfying end to the first half for Graham Taylor, because England had made all the running nearly and deserved to get something before half-time. And it was the inevitable poacher who came along to supply it. Now Hungary perhaps sniffing something here. Limperger is forward for the corner. And that's into the side netting. So that bright finish to the first half has the Wembley crowd in good voice, and it was no less than England deserved. They'd made a series of half chances, if no more than that, but when the opportunity was presented to Gary Lineker, he marked his first night as the new captain under the new manager with the opening goal. Tony Dorigo of Chelsea is on at the start of the second half in place of Stuart Pearce. Dorigo, who played in the third-place match in the World Cup and indeed made a goal on that occasion. Gascoigne, Dixon, Bull. England looking for the explosive start to the second half that they made to the first, when Dixon came close in the opening seconds. Here's Dorigo. Bull. People often talk about the 6-3 match here in 1953 and Hungary's 7-1 victory later that season over England in Budapest, but overall England have got a very good record against the Hungarians. In fact, England have won 6 of the last 7 meetings, and the other one was a draw. Here's Parker. Number 8 is Bush for Hungary. 10 there, Bertzi. Limperger. Nice interception by Dixon, and then flattened quite unceremoniously. Diestel was the offender. Number 3. Mark Wright just making his way forward. Dixon. And again. Barnes. Bush. Monosh. Nobody challenged Distel there. Steve Bull was standing and watching, rather. This is Barnes back to Dorigo. Now Bull's on the move. Against Distel. And he showed up well. Oh, Lineker! It happened so quickly. You hardly saw Lineker going in. And Steve Bull gets great credit. He foraged down the left there against Distel. Pulled the ball back well, and Lineker hit that first time with his right foot. It's a lovely combination between the two strikers here, and what a goal it would have been. Here's Platt. Right. Dorigo. Must be plenty of Chelsea supporters here from the reception that Dorigo's getting. Gascoigne. Oh, he could let play go there, the referee. Dorigo was on his way, but he's pulled it back for a foul on Gascoigne. David Platt right in the heart of the penalty area with Steve Bull, and Wright goes there as well now. There's a bit of shirt pulling there too on Gary Lineker, I think. Anyway, Hungary have cleared their lines. Bush. Gregor may have played for that rather, and he's got a free kick, which Bush will take. And Hungary have sent Limperger and Distel up from the back. Here's Kozma. Keller. Kovac. And again, danger here. Good block, David Platt. Gascoigne, and that's turned defence into attack for England with Lineker. Mark Wright well forward again. Gascoigne. This is Walker, and now Dorigo. Oh, now that's where England can't afford to lose it, because Dorigo's recovery is so good, there won't be any consequences, but with Des Walker already down the left wing, they would have been undermanned there. Still, who's complaining about taking a chance or two if you're going to get more players into attack? That was always the way Graham Taylor wanted to play at club level. Here's Monosh. Back to Dorigo's speed. One of his assets at left back, both in attack and in defence. Peter Shilton enjoying life in a completely new role. Barnes. This is where he's got the freedom to pick the ball up. Centre of the field when he sees the opportunity right here. And just offside, Steve Bull. I didn't like the way he followed through, the Hungarians, but he only has an eye for one place, the Wolves striker, and that's the goal. Barnes tucked that ball through. The flag went up there, as you can see, and it was the foot in for the ball, in my opinion, although the goalkeeper was spread-eagled. I don't think you could blame Steve Bull for that. Gascoigne again. Too far ahead of Barnes. Dorigo. England still moving with purpose. Dorigo again, Lineker. Hungary at full stretch. And the referee displeased with one of the Hungarians, and for the first time tonight, we have the yellow card. It's the player on the right who's been cautioned. I think it may be Bush, number 8. I rather think what happened there, as the Hungarian coach sits impassively, was that there was a shirt pulling on Paul Gascoigne earlier by Bush, the man in the picture, and the referee caught up with him when the play stopped and gave him the yellow card.
No, it was good refereeing because it was in a dangerous situation for England, and so he allowed play to go to see if they could develop a good scoring opportunity. But I think he had to really put a book in at this stage because the Hungarians have been body checking all throughout the game, really.
And England have got them backpedaling in this phase of the match without a doubt. This is Lineker, flat. Garaba and Barnes. No. The referee decides to give the free kick. There have been a couple of occasions where Mr. Fredriksson could have let play go on with an advantage, but he's chosen to stop the game. Whether that profits England, we shall see, depending on Gaz's delivery. It's not a goal. Disappointment on the bench. The referee has spotted an infringement and it won't count. May even have come off a Hungarian head here. Well, it was certainly the Hungarian that put it in.
I think that's going to be one of those mystery decisions because I certainly didn't see any infringement, and Paul Gascoigne seen, I think the goalkeeper at the far post whipped it in at the near post and just got the faintest of touches, but the referee must have blown very early.
Well, he gave the free kick right in the centre of the goal area, Mr. Fredriksson. I rather think the referee saw something in the 6-yard box here, because there's no question of offside, and I think a little push, maybe by, well, it might have been marked right, but certainly it would have been an own goal, and an England player was penalised. Chris Waddle getting ready. And the man from Marseille, with the distinctive new haircut this season, replaces the striker from Wolverhampton, who's run himself into the ground, Steve Bull. So much has been said about whether Graham Taylor can get the best out of John Barnes. I wonder if he can get the best out of Chris Waddle, because he in his own way is at times something of an enigma, but again so highly talented. Waddle wearing number 15. An immediate impression, Gascoigne. And Waddle again. And Dixon's coming in from the right. Oh, and nearly a present for Lineker. Chris Waddle makes his presence felt instantly. And Lee Dixon was close, coming in from right back. There's Barnes. Feels for handball on the far side, not given. And the pass out of defence, finally cut out by Dorigo. Well, there's a quarter of an hour to go. It's certainly a satisfactory England performance at this stage, but to make it a highly impressive one, they need a second goal, and a booking is coming up for one of the Hungarian substitutes, Tibor Simon, who left Gary Lineker on the ground and gets the yellow card. So we've had Simon and Bush booked now. Simon's tackle here as Gary Lineker plays the ball inside. Well, it was a quite a deliberate push in the midriff. There's Waddle. Gascoigne. Hasn't quite come off for Gascoigne on the fringe of the defence there. He's tried to go through himself 2 or 3 times. And of course, the crowd would love to see that happen. This is Dixon, and now Gascoigne. In for Lineker. Didn't quite run for Waddle. And England, in their enthusiasm to get the second goal, must be careful not to leave the door ajar further back. It's Bush to Simon. And there's a little bit of danger here, and Paul Parker wasn't quite sure who was behind him. In fact, Gregor wasn't far away, so a corner to Hungary. They've not given up this match by any means. Bush will take the corner, and Distel will come up from the back with Limburger. And off the shins of Barnes. Limburger thought he hit it Barnes on the arm. So we've had a half-hearted appeal for a penalty at both ends now. Neither one actually came to fruition. Played by Dorigo. And now a chance for a break by Waddle. Oh, Gary Lineker won't be pleased with that. Crossfield ball was truly on there. And a nice flick by Kovac. Beetsi.
At times, the Hungarians have played good possession football, but really lacking that sort of vital thrust in the last third of the field, and England's sweeper system with the extra man at the back has worked very effectively, and I think they've looked very tight.
Gascoigne to Barnes. Here's Lineker, and now Dorigo. Once again, the goalkeeper given the freedom of the 18-yard area from Dorigo's cross. Yes, the way England started, I think we were perhaps optimistic that there might be more goals. Kalman Mezoy, the coach, giving instructions to another substitute, who in fact is Tibor Balov, the number 15. You may notice a familiarity about the face of the Hungarian coach. He actually played in this country for them in the 1966 World Cup finals, in that quite brilliant game at Goodison Park between Hungary and Brazil. And Gaza, I think, actually tossed a divot in the direction of the player who was on the ground, or part of his sense of fun, I suspect. This is Waddle. Dorigo. Barnes. Waddle. Went for the near post. And a further substitution by the Hungarians. On comes Balog, number 15, forward from MCK Budapest, and off goes number 8, Zlot Bush. But here was Chris Waddle trying to put the issue beyond doubt for England, and he elected to shoot, hoping to find a gap at the near post. Here's Limburger. Still well stocked back there with white shirts. Mark Wright has now dropped behind the others. And that's forced the Hungarians to think again. In fact, they've pushed them right out onto the halfway line. That's really good play by England. Lineker with Waddle to his left, 2 against 2. Huge good sigh from the crowd, who thought England were onto something there. Barnes. Dorigo. Waddle. That's promising by Chris Waddle. Barnes backing up. And Gascoigne. Forward by Dorigo. Gascoigne again. One of his party pieces. Not the politest of gestures, but not meant really to be taken too seriously. Free kick. Lineker's in there, so too is Platt. White has gone to join them now. Whipped by Gascoigne, and that's the danger, as Trevor Brooking was saying, of that free kick, because the ball goes in so fast, it just needs the faintest of touches from somebody like David Platt.
Well, on that occasion, there's so many bodies in there, it is difficult to defend that. There it is, David Platt just diving in front of the goalkeeper, Petrin, and really we're already seeing another disallowed one, which went in off the defender. Anyone could get the touch, and 2 or 3 of them, David Platt hitting it too firmly. It was just flicked off the top of his head. The pace of the cross would have taken it in the net. But again, still remains 1-0, but for me, a much better performance, really, than the scoreline suggests.
Gascoigne to Barnes. Is there time then for England just to bring the match to a happy conclusion? Just over 2 minutes. But Hungary have got ideas themselves, and Chris Wood's out. So the 2 men who are now at the helm, exchanging thoughts with Stephen Harrison, the coach, just hidden in there with the moustache. Towards the end of their first international in charge of England. Their team lead 1-0. And we're in the last minute. Lineker. (15 for the Hungarians. Balog. Foul by John Barnes. Your final thought, Trevor?
Well, I think Graham Taylor will probably be pleased to get the win in his first game. A little bit disappointed that they haven't sort of turned the superiority into more goals, but I've seen a lot of good things to come out of it. The balance, the blend, and the spirit is still there from the summer of the World Cup, and I'm sure that they'll build on from this evening's performance. So I think he'll be thoroughly pleased.
Time perhaps for one last English assault. This is Waddle. Free kick. Do you expect very much the same sort of team against Poland next month then, Trevor?
Well, I mean, the sweeper system under Graham Taylor, I think, will stay. The 2 fullbacks have got forward well. Tony Dorigo's done well when he's come in, so I wouldn't think it would change much, really.
Fair enough. Well, the crowd at Wembley, who saw Gary Lineker score the only goal of Graham Taylor's first international, the crowd was 51,499, which is a very good turnout for a September friendly, and justified the decision to bring the match from Budapest back to Wembley. The captain marks his first night wearing the armband by scoring the winning goal, and it's worth recording perhaps that Graham Taylor's 2 predecessors, Bobby Robson and Ron Greenwood, both began life as England manager with a draw. Sir Alf Ramsey started with a defeat, and so Graham joins the late Don Revie and Sir Walter Winterbottom in the list of England managers who've begun their spell in charge with a victory. It was achieved by that solitary goal right on half-time, and the final score at Wembley, England 1, Hungary 0.
Graham, the right result, the right performance, but I bet deep down you're relieved the first game is behind you.
I'm pleased because I think that's important. It enables me to see more things from a team performance point of view. But for me, a very enjoyable